Yeah. He says once you're responsible for your feelings, for yourself, and you actually then demonstrate a sincere desire to want to know the truth, then I'll give you some help. That's how God is. But that's not what most nurturing women, if we can put that in quotations. So those of you who are listening without seeing, I'm using quotation marks. Nurturing without seeing, without nurturing without loving, really. Like, so what you're really doing is you're just trying to pander to specific emotions in the person you're doing it with, or pander to specific emotions in yourself. So in other words, the average woman feels and has been taught from childhood that a good woman does this. So for many of you keep doing it because you think just that one thought. I'm not a good woman if I don't do it. So that's a very selfish reason for doing it.
Or telling yourself that this is being kind and good without analysing, which is selfish too, from God's perspective of how actually unloving it is.
That's right. And how time wasting it can be, and how much you put up with absolute rubbish from each other. Absolute rubbish. Like, when I say rubbish, what I mean is you're talking about things that are not true, completely untrue, and yet you're all accepting them as truth. Even if you don't accept them in your heart, you're giving the verbal agreement of it, right? And therefore giving some level of approval for it without seeing it's actually wrong, what the person's saying. So when I'm in the group with you, most of you are afraid of speaking when I'm in the group, but when I'm in the group with you, you'll notice if somebody says something to me and I go, no, there's some major things wrong with what you just said, from a love perspective. I don't see a lot of that happening in a group of discussions between women. In the group here, I mean. Why is that? Why aren't you seeing that the attitude from God's perspective is wrong, so therefore there's got to be something wrong with the conversation if you're accepting it? Something has to be done about that. So an example of that is one woman starts talking and everybody stops working. There's something wrong with that. Why can't you continue working and listening? Why can't you do that? Why do you have to stop working and give your undivided attention to the person who's talking? There's something wrong with that if the task at hand is to do the work. Now, if the task at hand was to listen, then sure, do that. But that wasn't the task at hand. The task at hand is to get some work done. And if the task at hand is to get some work done, why are you all stopping the work in order to listen to one person talking? There's got to be an addiction. There's got to be a bunch of different addictions, doesn't there, really? They're in the person talking sometimes, but also in all the persons who are doing that. Every time you're stopping, you basically go, okay, I need to stop what I'm doing in order to listen. Or why do you need to stop? Like, when Courtney and I are working together and we're chatting about all sorts of things, we don't stop. No, we can be working away and we'll be talking about our emotions. We don't stop working. Like, we keep working.
But women do.
But most of you girls stop working. So why is that? There's got to be some level of addiction in that, right? Causing you to do that. That's not loving to yourself or the group or the task at hand.